how to create the most powerful atmospheres in Logic Pro X using Alchemy. Now, Alchemy is such a powerful tool because it comes with a variety of presets that just sound so beautiful. So you have to create a MIDI track, then you have to go to Alchemy, and now you have to go to Soundscapes, Evolving, and you can select a genre. I always keep this at the all genre, and the timbre you can select complex or keep it at all. And now you kind of start to click through these presets. I always try it out with the same note, so I just press the C on my keyboard here. And while I keep this note pressed, I start to morph this. Now, you can try this out with different presets. What I personally love to do is I love to go to this advanced section, and then I kind of start to turn off all of the sources Alchemy uses to create these presets. And now I start to press source A, and I can listen to how each source adds to the main pad sound. And now I slowly start to add the new sources and see which one I want to keep in the current pad, which ones I want to use. Now for me, the additive and the saw don't really fit. I can still change them here in this preset menu, but I usually just turn them off to save some time. So yeah, once you have a pad sound that you like, something you can do now is you go to press A on your keyboard, and then you go on this touch function here, you go back to Alchemy, you press record, and what you want to do now is you simply start to morph the pad while you press C. So you press C on your keyboard, and then you move this around. And just like that, you have an amazing sounding pad. Now you can bounce this into audio, but what I usually like to do is I like to rename this to pad 1. Then I like to duplicate it by pressing Command D. Then I like to duplicate this by holding down Option and dragging this to the next track. Rename this to pad 2, and then just flick through different presets with this modulation we just created, adding a quick loop here, and just pressing play on the pad, muting the first pad, and then pressing through the presets on the second pad here. So I go back to browse and I go to the second pad now. And what this will do, it will copy the automations we already have set here, and we can just quickly apply these for the second pad. Now this sounds a bit more like a pad to me, and if I like this, I can just bounce this into place into audio. Now, why I like to bounce this into place by just simply right-clicking and saying bounce into place is because I can do a lot more with the audio file in Logic. Now, something I can do is I can simply chop it up here, and I can now, for example, reverse it by going here to the region button, then pressing more, and then going here to reverse. Now I have something that sounds like this. And something I love to do then is I use, if I have pad 2 now in audio, I love to duplicate this, label this pad 2 audio version 2, duplicate this to this track, and then just pitch it up once by pressing Shift, Option, and the upwards key on your keyboard. Now this sounds already really powerful, but I love to group these together. So I create a track stack, add this to a summing stack, and call this a pad group. Now on the pad group, I like to apply an EQ just to cut out all the low end, a high pass filter, maybe around 300 Hertz, with a EQ of around 12 dB per octave. And then under the channel EQ, I like to add some echo. Let's go for maybe some simple echo here, and maybe some quarter dotted delay with some feedback around 81%. Let's see how this sounds like. Now, if we want to remove this abrupt ending, we add a small fade here, and maybe also a fade for the introduction. And now we can bounce this again into a new audio channel. Now, here we have the final result. Sounds beautiful. Now I can pitch it up and down. And that's basically how you create an atmosphere in a couple minutes just using Alchemy, a completely original sounding atmosphere for your track. Now, something you can still do here is you can also apply more processing. So for example, you can apply some reverb to this, maybe some vocal ambience, and with a long decay rate of, let's say, like 30 seconds, reduce the density and the size a bit, and keep it fully on wet. So remove the dry signal completely. It sounds something like this. Now we remove the loop and we bounce it into place. So this was the final pad. I'm gonna rename this the final pad extended. Now what we did here, we have a huge reverb tail. And this is a perfect pad we can use in the background for any kind of track. Let's now chop up the last bit here of the reverb tail, drag this into a new audio track. And now let's say around here, around the second bar, we can cut it up and we can just copy and paste it. Highlight it, double click it, go here in the track view, apply a small fade, mute this, and voila, we have a beautiful atmosphere that's playing in the background. Now we can low pass it. And do you hear how the volume is louder here than here? This is actually quite nice because it starts to add some movement to the pad. Something we can also enhance to enhance this movement to the pad is by adding some modulation. Now we can add, for example, let's say a phaser here. We can also add maybe a chorus. And now we can pitch it down. And just like that, we have a beautiful pad. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's how you create a pad in a couple minutes using Alchemy in Logic Pro X. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Also make sure to check out my website, maxfluchermusic.com, where I give you guys online lessons and a lot of free resources. So make sure to check it out. And yeah, have a beautiful day. Take care, and I see you soon. Bye-bye.